everybody and welcome back to Conor here. We have had an absolute nightmare here at Leeds TV. My friend and colleague Oscar Marriot was just here and we did film a player ratings and a joint match review which was comprehensive and very, very good. Unfortunately, the sound wasn't on from the microphone, technical difficulty. So, I mean, I'm going to have to break the news to Oscar, but yeah, absolutely horrendous scenes. But listen, Oscar's come down here and we've sat through the entire game and we watched the game together. If you haven't checked that out, please go check the watch along. If you want to revisit the scenes that I'm sure have been clipped up and put on social media as I speak, please go ahead and do that. Leeds United with a great win down at Huddersfield. I said on my Instagram story, if you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram at Conor_ALTV. I said that I thought we'd lose this game. I really did. I thought that Liam Cooper and Calvin Phillips' misses were going to be huge. I thought they'd be absolutely huge and a massive, massive slight on this Leeds United side in how we play. Turns out I couldn't have been more wrong. That first half I was massively frustrated. We were both really frustrated. I don't think Leeds were able to get the ball. I don't think we could pass it around. I don't think we were able to break it up. I thought for the first time in Marcelo Bielsa's tenure at Leeds United, you saw Huddersfield breaking through the middle, and obviously that was because the key man was missing Calvin Phillips, but they were breaking through the middle. You didn't really have Pablo Hernandez and Click able to sort of dominate that area as much. Bakuna and Hogg were having a lot of joy. And the Cowleys have got it right. Do you know what I mean? They were just getting the ball, and Leeds were... Every time we were able to sort of break the play up, we were just sort of passing and moving and stuff like this, but the passing had to be crisp. Why did it have to be crisp? Because of the Huddersfield press. And were they able to do that for the full 90 minutes? No, they weren't. But I tell you what, in that first half, I think it was Huddersfield's half. I really do. And I thought, obviously we had the chance with Click, but that was really it. Leeds United didn't really get to grips with the game at all, and we were definitely second best with the balls, the second balls. Every time they were feeling a little bit nervous, what they'd do is hoof it, and every time they'd hoof it, they'd win it upfield with Kachunga or Mounier. But I thought Ayling really held his own. He was winning the battles, but the second ball, Leeds were losing that, and were losing that with the likes of Click and Pablo, and they weren't able to keep hold of the ball. A lot of balls going astray. I thought particularly Stuart Dallas had a poor game today. But then the brilliant thing about this Leeds United side is, 12 goals in the second half of away games this season. We've been absolutely instrumental in these second halves. So I was absolutely sure, and we were sure, me and Oscar, that Leeds were going to come back in the second half, and we did, and we came back with a vengeance. And the first sort of 10 minutes, I was a little bit like following a similar pattern here, but Leeds grew and grew and grew. We were keeping the ball, and we stretched the game. We got the wingers involved a lot more. We got Patrick Bamford involved a lot more. I felt both, you know, those positions, the wingers. I mean, Harrison barely touched the ball. Alioski barely touched the ball. Costa did a little bit, but he wasn't really getting at the defenders. And clearly there was something said at half time, because Leeds came out and we're exposing the wingers. We're getting the wingers on the ball. We're getting Bamford on the ball a little bit more. We scored a perfectly legitimate goal, which wound me up no end, which I'm sure you'd see on the watch along. Perfectly good goal. Incompetent referee and incompetent linesman again, who I didn't think were up to much today. And for either side, you know, Leeds having a perfectly good goal disallowed. You know, I mean, he's about a yard onside, and you know, we all call for VAR being rubbish and all this sort of stuff. But you know, in those instances, you know, if it was 0-0, football is all about fine margins, and Leeds should have had that goal and we're 1-0 up. But an absolute thunder strike from Alioski, which I don't think any of us expected. Which, you know, got us out of our seats, and that set us on our way. And it was out of nothing, really. It was out of nothing on the 50th minute. I thought, you know, they were coming into it still, and that, I think that goal sort of swung it for us. We then were coming out a lot more. The counter attacks were good, were fluid, but you know, and the links between the defence, the midfield, and the attack were getting a little bit shorter, and Leeds were connecting a little bit more, and the goal definitely eased us up. You know, it knocked the wind out of Huddersfield's sails, really, and it's a big win. Listen, it's the first time they've lost the Cowleys since losing to Sheffield Wednesday at home a fair bit ago. You know, a fair bit ago. It's about 2 or 3 months now, and they've been all right at home of Huddersfield. They really have, causing a few teams problems, and you can see why. You know, a lot of physicality. And they try play in a good way, but I think obviously they've had a lot of injuries as well. You know, a lot of key men out for Huddersfield, but it was a similar thing with Leeds United. You know what I mean? Losing our captain hours before even getting there. So what is it now? Cooper, Forshaw, Shackleton, Roberts. We've got loads of players out, loads of key players out. So the way we're able to fashion a win, fashion a clean sheet as well, which is huge. Didn't think, you know, there's two sides to Berardi's game for me. Do you know what I mean? Defensively, he's excellent. He's a really good player, little terrier, and he'll put everything into it. His distribution, he was sort of on the left-hand side of a back three, so I can understand that. He was utilising his left foot a lot more, you know, which I know is not going to be comfortable for him. But his distribution can sometimes be really poor, and I think sometimes that is where we were lacking in that first half. It was the distribution from the back line into the, you know, the midfield and the attack, which was where we were breaking down. But I'm really buzzing with that, guys. You know, we're going into a really tough period now. You know, and I think in about 2 to 3 weeks we've got 6 games, and tough games as well. You know, Hull City at home beating us last year, Cardiff at home, you know, notoriously having good record at Ellen Road as well. Hopefully we can switch that round. But you know, it's a bit of a record breaker today. You know, last 3 times we played Huddersfield we've lost, so we've broken that record today. So it is all about this season being different to last season's and seasons gone by, and I think we are proving a few of the doubters wrong now. 6 wins on the bounce, 100% record. 11th clean sheet of the season. Absolutely amazing to say. You know, we're still struggling with injuries, so I'm absolutely buzzing with it. Genuinely, I am absolutely buzzing with it, and I think now with, you know, these 2 games coming up in a week, and then obviously Fulham and Preston, it's going to be a really tough period for Leeds. Can we stand up to it? We've stood up to the last 6 games. I don't think anyone would have predicted that we'd have won 6 in 6. You know, 18 points there out of 18, so brilliant from the lads, brilliant from Leeds United. As I said, if you haven't already, please go check our watch along out. It was full of reactions, it was full of discussions, and if you want to relive that game again, make sure you go check it out. Make sure you look out for the lads' videos as well. I'm sorry, Oscar, I think you're going to have to put a video out, mate. We'd recorded everything. We've been here for about an hour recording the player ratings and the review, the joint review, but unfortunately, for technical issues, for us being dumb and dumber, we didn't switch something on, which is pivotal in recording. So, hope you all have a brilliant weekend. Massive win for Leeds, and I'll see you in a bit.